Hello and welcome to my week 8 post ALIF video. It has been fully 2 months since my surgery. The time has flown by. I don't know where it's gone. The time I spent at home, all 6 weeks of it here gone past, and now I've been back at work for just 2 weeks now. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks. So how are things going? We'll talk about the past before we talk about the future. First thing I will say is that the miasma, that only lasted a few days. Last week, later in the week, it pretty much faded. Glad to see it. I do get a little mentally slower sometimes later in the day, but it's not like it was. It wasn't like I was just walking into befuddlement and unable to process at regular speeds. So that is nice. I'm still trying sometimes when I mess up at work, which isn't often, but like if I forget a thing here or there because I'm still getting used to everything and there are a few changes that have happened, but like, oh yeah, it's that post-surgery brain. Ha. So yeah, no, things are going great on that front. Thankfully, that subsided much more quickly than I thought it would. So I'm happy about that. I'd like to report too that my anxiety levels have dropped precipitously. I forget if I mentioned that in last week's video, but I assumed early on that it was a product of being off work. I kind of hoped it was more of a product of like all of these clenching muscles in my back finally releasing some. I guess it's both because I got back to work and I've been working 2 weeks now and it's been fine. Only today, and for reasons I'll get into, did it spike. And the lower normal has been around for long enough for me to see that spike and be like, oh my God, how did I live like this? Because the spike was to my previous baseline. Today was a very high anxiety day and I just hated how insidious it was and how it infected like my thoughts and it was bad. But it did die down again. So I think it was just transient due to yesterday. And it's interesting too because I wasn't able to breathe as deeply. Like before the surgery, my breathing would come to a hard stop, like when I tried to breathe in deep. And afterwards, like it's just a buildup of pressure because my ribs can expand more, or at least so I assume. But that hard stop happened again. And then later in the day, I noticed I was able to breathe a little bit more deeply. And so transient, good. The fact that I noticed it, good. And the fact that I noticed it also, I was able to put myself outside of it, see what it was doing to me and counteract some of that. So hopefully I didn't appear as anxious. Another thing, my walking speed is higher than it was pre-surgery. I walk fast all the time, but like, shut up, Luca. I generally walk very fast, but like my max speed pre-surgery was 4 miles an hour. Now 4 miles an hour is what I walk with some left in the tank. I'm not sure exactly what my max is right now. I'll probably test it out soon. Maybe not too soon, but because I'm a little sore. But yeah, it's great to see. My stride is definitely longer. My gait is bouncier. I move up and down a lot more. It feels less guarded, less like a glide, and more like an actual walk. So you'll notice on the bottom, if I haven't pointed it out already, so you'll notice like you'll have me working out. Yesterday was my very first PT session, and it was intense. My physical therapist, I'm going to a sports PT, so they asked me like, well, what sports do you play? I'm like, well, I like to run and I like to lift, so I don't play anything competitively or professionally, but that's what I like to do. So they're gearing it towards that with, rehabilitation of my back in mind and just trying to get me as efficient as possible. He stretched the crap out of my hamstrings. Oh my God. So they do a test where you're laying it on your back and they try to get your leg as straight as possible. Before he did anything, 45 degrees was my best, which is actually pretty terrible. After some of the torture, he got it to 28 degrees. Now it's not going to stay there without work, and it can't, but it tells me that it can improve and there's lots of room for improvement. And if I work at it, I should be able to become very flexible. Well, very moderately flexible. I might get to the point where I don't have to warm up for 45 minutes before touching my toes. Considering my hamstrings are probably clenched just the same as everything else for my entire adult life, this makes sense. So I was happy to see that. They put me through some exercises, got me moving in ways that I haven't since pre-surgery. So it was good to like break that barrier with a professional there watching me. Like he had me twist my trunk until I was like the top was like perpendicular to the bottom. Like he was pretty impressed with that range of motion. But I wouldn't have done that on my own, nor would I have done like the reaching and lots of exercises. So I did my first PT workout today. It's not going to all be down here playing because my camera's battery ran out and its other battery was dead, and I don't know where my charger is, and I don't know where my plug-in battery is. I'm a mess right now. I know. I'll get it sorted out. But in any case, they've got me doing things like bird dogs, side plank, side planks, which are actually way harder now. Well, but of course they are. I haven't done them in 8 weeks or so. Cat camels, clamshells, which actually also take a ton of focus for me not to rock my hips. Child's pose. So lots of very basic yoga stuff, but like it's all about getting my glute meads going, my glutes going, and building up movement all throughout my spine. None of these exercises should affect the fusion. It's actually all very safe movements. It took me an hour and 15 minutes to get through the whole PT workout, and that's going to be a daily thing, but it's a worthwhile investment each day because I'm building right now the foundation that's going to make me exceed my prior self during phase 4. But yeah, week 8 here now, 2 months in. My back is significantly stronger than it was 2 weeks ago, and it will be significantly stronger 2 weeks from now. And 4 weeks from now, we'll reach phase 3, where I no longer have to really worry about screwing up. Like, I'll be able to lift heavy. I'll be able to start running. I can't wait for 4 weeks from now. But we're getting there, and we're getting there safely. And right now, I am building that foundation just like I wanted to do with the right people. So I couldn't be more thrilled about where I am. This whole recovery has gone amazingly, and it continues to do so. Like, everyone is impressed with where I am. My coworkers are like, "How are you moving so fast?" I'm like, I actually don't know. I guess it's all that stuff I did. So it's great to see. I'm feeling great. I'm glad that it's all going so well. I'm doing my best as I was. I'm going to continue to. So next week, hopefully I'll have the full workout here for you. From start to finish. Once I find my camera gear, I'll get it. And if they change it up, I'll communicate that too. But just bear in mind the exercises I told you about, the ones I see, if you clicked on this video because you needed PT exercises, they're specific to my physiology and what my needs are. Yours might be similar. These might be helpful to you, but they might not be exactly what you need. Anyway, I suppose that's all I've got for now. Appreciate you all being here. Oh, yeah, one last thing. Sciatica, since I'm going to make a mention of it every week until it's gone. This week it kind of flatlined. It spiked on Monday because on Sunday I had to do some preventative maintenance on my 3D printer, and it turned into a big old project because there's a bearing on it that got pushed out, and I had to get into the back, and I was on my knees for a long time. On his knees. And I was doing a lot of, and it wasn't super heavy, but manipulating the 3D printer and moving about and just work that my back was not super happy with afterwards. Nothing that endangered anything, especially at this point, but it caused my sciatica to flare up Monday and a little bit Tuesday, but it was fine today. So yeah, we're getting there. I expect it to go away, especially with physical therapy. I think it's going to clear up even more. The PT did do a test where I was slouched, and he tested my flossing of the nerve, no symptoms whatsoever. So that's an excellent sign. All right, I've been rambling enough. I'll see you guys week 9. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.